So it's time to dig in a little bit more into our routing system. And at the moment, we only have two routes here that we've explicitly defined, the slash route and the slash hey route. These don't really do anything. They're kind of arbitrary and they're not really part of a core application. So it's probably a good time now, at least, to explain sort of the overarching vision about what we're about to build, and then to put at least a little piece of it together. We're going to create a small voting application. We're going to allow users to request a simple poll, or at least we're going to provide them a simple poll. We're going to allow them to send HTTP requests to vote for certain items in our poll. And then we're going to set up a few endpoints that serve up the results of the poll or show individual votes for a particular option depending on what works best. So to do that, we kind of have to think about how we're going to architect this application. And one thing to know is that when you build a server, especially as our application starts to grow, we probably don't want to add all of our routes directly into the server.js file. It makes more sense to instead split up our concerns into individual modules within our application. And so we should probably go in here and create a new directory that'll handle all of our routing. Or let's call it routes. And so we have this routes directory here, and we can add whatever routes we want to it. So if we wanted to start creating a voting layer or a votes layer, whatever we decide to name it, we could create a file for that, touch routes/voting.js. And so all of our voting routes can go into this voting file. Now to do that, we have to do a few things. So we're going to start off simple, and then we're going to kind of build up as we move on with this application. The first thing we need to do is we need to actually create a new router inside this voting file. So we're going to say const express equals require express. The same way we did in our server.js file, we're requiring the express module from our node modules directory. And then we're going to grab a router from the express package. We're going to instantiate a new router. And a router kind of acts as a mini application within our express app. And from that, we can treat it the same way as we did with app.get here and define routes. We can do the same thing with our router. So we can say router.get/ and we'll say an async callback. That will do the same thing, res.status200, and then we'll send back some JSON. But this time, let's create a poll. We'll say const voting equals, and let's create a poll for types of pizza. So we'll say pepperoni, and we'll give it a 0. And we'll say cheese, and we'll give it a 0. And we'll say Hawaiian, and we'll give it a 0. So at the moment, all of these options have 0 votes. And then we'll just send back the current state of our poll at any point. Now, the interesting thing here is that we've created this new module within our Express application, but there's really no way for anything else in our app to know about this module. And so we actually have to use a particular syntax that's used in Express applications where we export something from this module so that other parts of our application can use it. So we're going to say module.exports equals router. And by doing so, we're allowing any other part of our application access to this router, which stores the single route that we define, which serves up the voting poll that we have arbitrarily defined. Now, by the way, this will only exist in memory. So anytime I restart the server, it'll reset back to 0. So it's not a perfect system at the moment, but it is a good demonstration of how we can operate a small and simple application in Express. Now, once we've done this, we can head back into our server and we can actually require this voting module in the same way we require node modules, but instead of pulling directly from node modules here, we actually define the relative path to the module we're looking to define, or to import, excuse me. So we could say const voting router equals require, and the path is .routes/voting. Now, because this is an Express application, it inherently looks for .js files, JavaScript files, and so we don't have to append the .js extension onto the end of this. It will just know that this is a JavaScript file. And then, in the same way that we used a middleware here, we can say app.use, and we'll say /voting, and we'll attach the voting router to this endpoint. And so by doing so, I'm going to save this really quickly. I'm going to start my server again. I'm going to say node server.js. It's running. And then I can head here to the voting route, and we see our poll in action. Now, you might be wondering, where did this module.exports come from? And this is actually something important to know, so we should go into a little bit more detail about this.